All right, so welcome to our vocational nursing program orientation video. This video is going to cover requirements and information for classes 70 and 71 that are going to be July 2022 start and January 2023. So just a little bit about us and this orientation, what we're going to be going through. We're going to review our vocational nursing program and give you some background information and some details. We're going to talk about the prerequisite requirements that you can be working on now or that you need to get in order before applying. We're going to review the application process, and give you an overview of the notification timeline. So who are we? We are the Health Occupation Center, formerly known as the Grossmont Health Occupation Center. So you'll also see that name used. We are part of Grossmont Adult Education. So we provide public education for adults 18 plus. We're located in Santee, California, out in East County, San Diego. But our students do clinicals all over San Diego County. And then we are also part of Grossmont Union High School District. So we are extension. We are governed by the laws, policies, guidelines, regulations set forth by the Grossmont Union High School District. We are WASC accredited, so that is important. We are a legal public education institution. And so again, we offer a vocational nursing program, and then we offer 11 additional medical training programs out here in Santee. And then I'm going to pass it over, and I should probably introduce Heather Peterson. I am the director here of the Health Occupation Center campus. And we are incredibly lucky enough to actually have a program director specifically of our vocational nursing program, and her name is Barbara Brock. So Barbara Brock is going to jump in here and talk about our accreditation that's specific to our vocational nursing program.
Thank you, Heather. I want to introduce Alex as well. So Alex Cormier is on here as well. She is very important to the program and will help guide you. And you'll be contacting her with data. Anyways, our accreditation, we are WASC accredited, and we're also accredited through the BVNPT. That's the Board of Vocational Nursing and Psychiatric Technicians. Get used to that name. So once you're done taking our program, which is the 18-month program with summers off and holidays off, we follow the high school district calendar, you will be able to take the NCLEX VN. And fortunately, it's online now, but you have to go to a testing center. You'll have 1 year credit towards an RN program. So there's community colleges in, well, not just San Diego, but other parts of the nation where you can, with your LVN, you can get into a step-up program. So you just go, whatever remainders left of their RN program, you jump in usually in the 2nd year. And then you're eligible to take the RN NCLEX. With our programs, we have quite a few courses in the program, and none of it transfers to the college. So everything that's within the program stays within the program. It may transfer to other LVN programs, but not to the college. All you get is the LVN. So with our program, we are going to enroll 25 students with 10 on standby. So that means that every semester, January and July, we'll be taking in 25 students. There's 1 program director, me, and then there's about 14 instructors. They're LVNs and RNs. I'd say about half of them still actively work in the community. We have OB and peds nurses. We have mental health nurses, med-surg nurses. So we have a wide array of different instructors in the program. We still have excellent pass rates, even though the pandemic has been trying to us, but 91.2% is our recent, just got the report a couple weeks ago, which is amazing. The nation average, or actually California, we didn't get the nation one this year, is around 70%. So still amazing numbers. There are more than 3,170 jobs out in California available for LVNs. I just sent out probably about 10 job opportunities to our former graduates just this morning, and an open house last week, and lots of people came by and wanted our graduates. So lots of jobs. You get hired right away. This is our skills lab. It's also our simulation lab. So in here, you see that we have a mannequin. It talks, it breathes, it has urine, it has blood, you can put an IV in it. So we utilize that in the program and hopefully in the other programs as well. There's a medication administration machine there, which we teach you how to take medications out of the machine, which a lot of the inpatient hospitals have these type of machines. The long-term care usually have the med cart. We have those as well. So we teach you both so that when you go out into the community, you have an idea. And this is rather new. We've only been open about 1.5 years now with our new skills lab. It has functioning oxygen on the wall and head walls there, and also suction. So it's pretty exciting. We have a simulation control room to where you can't see the instructors. They're behind the glass, so it makes it a little bit more comfortable while you're doing the simulation. And then we have the ability to record and watch it in another room.
Perfect. And then leading into the cost of the program. So all these important things when you're making a decision to pursue your education for LVN. And so the cost of our program currently is $5,500. And so that is for 3 semesters of instruction. And then there are up to the 3,000 additional costs. And so we're going to review just what that could look like too, so you know exactly what to expect. But you're really looking at about $8,500 to get through this program, which is about 18 months. It does include lab supplies and equipment, the full use of our student computer lab and our student center as well. And then you get a lab supply kit along with that. This will be for both class 70 and 71. So that cost for the program will not change, at least through class 70 and 71. So the breakdown, semester 1, at the beginning of the semester, because a lot of the bulk of what you're going to be purchasing and the needs are going to be from that first semester. So it is a registration fee of $3,000 that first semester. And then some of the additional fees that you see here, we have ATI curriculum, which is very important and integral to student success. And so we split that also over the semesters. That's some of that additional fee that we talked about. And that's $300. And then you also have Complia, which is all of your background check, drug screen, immunization compliance is also included there. For every clinical, you have to submit a new compliance record. So it's important that that's maintained. But then you see it goes down. So the bulk of the cost is that first semester. And then the registration fee is only the $1,500 second to the third. As you're going into the home stretch, you only end up paying $1,000 of it. So we do split it up. We do not do payment options. So that is something important to note, unless there are extenuating circumstances, but it's pretty rare. We don't have financial aid available. So that is something, because we are adult education and we are actually linked to a high school district. In terms of our tax status, we're not able to offer financial aid, but our students do find ways around that. Just even a simple credit card can work, or reaching out for loans and some other options, because this program is not as expensive as you might find in some of the private schools that are in the tens of thousands. It is a little bit more reasonable to spread that cost out and find some options around in terms of credit and loans and that sort. There is tuition reimbursement and scholarships available through outside sources too. We put those out to students all the time. Usually they've had to pay and come in, and then we send those out, and our students are getting scholarship opportunities all the time. We do them here on campus even. And refund policy, so it's usually for each semester, 2 weeks into the semester, you have to request that refund. And for our vocational nursing program, there is a $15 refund charge just for processing. But beyond that, there is a refund window for each of these semesters if needed.
And that's just a registration fee.
For registration fee, correct. Doesn't happen very often, but we know sometimes things get in the way. So that is just general. The additional student costs that you might be looking at, you do have to have a physical exam annually that has to be submitted and updated in Complio. You do have to do drug tests and background screens, because you are going in with live patients into functioning healthcare facilities. And so it's important that they have you all checked out and are comfortable to have you in with their patients and their staff. Textbooks, of course, are always going to be a big expense. The personal instruments, so stethoscope, pen light, scissors, and forceps every student has. We do have custom scrubs, so we have a color. You have to have our patch. It's very regimented in terms of what you wear each day, because it is important for our nursing students, our nursing consortium, that you represent our school well when you go out into these facilities. There is a nursing cap, which is part of graduation, and then we do a capping ceremony after your first semester. Fingerprinting is also a requirement. And then at the very end of the program, there is a fee to apply to become that licensed vocational nurse and take the NCLEX at the end of the program. So this total, again, you're looking at about 8,500 total, but it may vary. So we are doing this right now. It's October of 2021. And so this video is going to really apply to class 70 and 71. So all the way to next year. So just be aware some of these costs, because these are outside of our control, may change in that time. That's why you see kind of the approximate, and we're going to get as close as we can. Unfortunately, costs don't tend to go down. So you may be looking at something more, slightly more expensive, but we have not seen any crazy increases in these costs in the last couple of years. So hopefully it's pretty close to this. All right. And Alex Cormier is going to go ahead and jump in. She's going to be really integral to your application process. So she's going to review a lot of those requirements.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Alex Cormier, the administrative coordinator here at HOC. So your application, you just learned about how wonderful our program is and the cost, and now it's time to get those applications ready. Prerequisites are the items that will be required in addition with your application to be submitted. So the first one, an active California CNA license will be required. We're going to talk about each of these individually on their own slides. US high school diploma or equivalent will be required. You'll have to have taken the TEAS test, and that is administered by ATI testing. So you'll have to submit an official TEAS score, and then have completed anatomy and physiology. There is an option available through HOC, and we'll talk about that more on the slide. So for your CNA license, it must be current and active when you turn in your VN application, and maintain currency throughout the program. So what that means is you may be required to do your renewal CEUs if you've had a current license. If you're just newly licensed, then the VM program may qualify for some of those CEU hours. And we can talk more about that as you're in the program and your renewal becomes more relevant. But an active CNA license is required. And just to go back to that one, Heather, real quick, I want to highlight that we've had questions, can a medical assistant satisfy this requirement or other medical certifications? And the answer is no. Our program curriculum is approved by the Board of Vocational Nursing, the BVNPT, and with the requirement that our students are CNAs. So we have a program curriculum approved that our applicants and our students coming in are CNAs already. So that's the answer to that frequently asked question. A high school transcript. So we'll need an official US high school transcript or equivalent, GED or high set, and that is required to apply. If you're educated outside the US, you'll need translation and evaluation for those transcripts, and you can check our HOC website under the students page for resources to help you get that translated and evaluated. So for the TEAS score, this is a multiple choice assessment that's done on the computer. It's the test of essential academic skills. Again, it's ATI testing administers the test. Topics covered is reading, English, language, math, science, heavy on bio and AMP. The TEAS score is used for multiple nursing programs. It's kind of the basis for applying to nursing programs. So we use the same standard there for requiring the TEAS test. Official TEAS scores will need to be submitted electronically, and they're actually submitted through the ATI website. We have the ATI testing website, which you'll register for the exam. You'll be familiar with it. You request transcripts right on the site, and you would select our school, which is Health Occupation Center, Grossmont Adult Ed. I get this a lot. They can't find us under Grossmont, but we're not actually listed under Grossmont. You can find us under Health Occupation Center. So if you're watching this video and you're not being able to find us, it's because you're probably searching under Grossmont. Go ahead and search under Health Occupation Center and you should be able to find our school. That is if you've tested other than HOC. So we do offer the TEAS test, and there's a transcript fee. It's $27 to have those officially sent to us. If you've taken the TEAS at HOC, scores will automatically be sent to us, so you would not need to request a TEAS score, and that is even for past TEAS tests. So you actually don't have the option if you've taken it at HOC to submit us a score. We have it in our system and we pull your score for you. But if you've taken it at other sites, you will need to officially send it through the website. HOC will take your highest TEAS score. Please note they must be a minimum of 6 months apart. This may be something you haven't heard because most RNs programs take your first TEAS score. We will evaluate yours and take the highest, given they've been 6 months apart, 6 months apart. The TEAS review course, I'm gonna have Heather go over that, but before she does, I just want to emphasize the word official for transcripts, because we just talked about all of the prerequisites. And official means sealed, approved from a facility, sent directly to HOC. So we do have an online submission web email that you can have officially sent transcripts. That's typically, you would request those transcripts from your college or high school, and you'd be entering our email address to have them officially sent. We cannot accept transcripts attached as an email unofficially. And you are able to request transcripts to be mailed to yourself, but they must be in a sealed official envelope, and you can drop them off at our office. So there's really 2 ways to give us your official transcripts, either emailed officially from an organization to our email, or you can have those official transcripts in a sealed envelope brought to our office.
Perfect. So we get questions too. We do offer a TEAS review course here. You can actually there are a lot of online options for TEAS review. You can purchase, some are free. So you have a lot of opportunities to study for TEAS, but we do a live session here. So actually on campus, if you learn better that way, it's a great resource. And so just to kind of give you a little view of it, I will show you our website. And so I will show you where you can find this document yourself on that website. But you'll see ATI TEAS review. And we will always announce the exam dates. I think I put them in here, so you'll get to know spring exam dates. We administer the TEAS here on campus. But here is our TEAS review, little summary. It's just an $85 course for math and English, and then we separated out the science because we found people who really have only needed parts of it, and the science has really been a separate content area. I will say, speaking on the teacher's behalf, if you're coming to this review class and you don't have a strong, a science background, so you haven't taken anatomy, physiology, or any of the biologies or any of that in a long time, we would highly recommend going and refreshing a course, in a college setting or online or somewhere, because we are not going to be able to teach you anatomy and physiology in the very short amount of time. This really is review. This is really highlighting on the test the topics that they're going to focus on and giving you an opportunity to study, but that's studying material that you should already be familiar with. Okay, so that's just my plug, because we want you to be prepared. We want you to get the highest score possible on this. So you see that here, you see our schedule that's going to come up. So January 3rd to March 9th is going to be our math and English review. We do offer an AM and a PM version of that. And then the science is separate. And that's going to be on Tuesday nights. We're trying to accommodate all of our students here in this. So that's the TEAS review class. The TEAS test review registration, so where you're going to sign up for that class, it will be online, and it's going to open after our Q&A session. So if you're here for class 70, it's going to open right after the Q&A, which I'm going to talk about and give you that date. If you're here for class 71, please check the website, look in that VN application process, which again, I'm going to show you, and you will see the date for the Q&A. It's going to open at 9 a.m. the following day after the Q&A session. So coming, our next tentative dates for offering the teas here on campus are going to be March 15th and March 16th. We offer, again, an AM and a PM version for students. And then we always open that test registration about 2 weeks before the test. If you come here and take the TEAS review, we will be informing you of these dates and times to register in class. You don't have to do that, of course. So those will be online for anybody who's wanting to just review on their own and come here and take the TEAS. You can take the TEAS at other locations too. So if you go to ATI testing, go and look, you can actually find all of the locations locally that offer that TEAS testing session. And the prices you'll see are very different too. So just be aware of that, the cost for taking the TEAS. And you can register online or in person when it comes to that. So anatomy and physiology, I'm going to let Mrs. Brock jump in on this for the requirements for this content area.
Thank you, Heather. As Alex pointed out earlier, it has to be an official transcript from the college. Now, if you take an anatomy and physiology class here on campus, we will take care of the paperwork and it will be submitted to the office. Just know that. For the anatomy and physiology classes, if you take them together, A and P together, it needs to be within the last 7 years. Now, I have gotten questions about people taking anatomy and physiology 1 and then anatomy and physiology 2. You have to take both. If it's just anatomy and physiology and it covers everything, then the 1 is fine. It's usually a 6-unit class. If you take anatomy and physiology 1, which is usually 4 units, and then 2, another semester, it's another 4 units. So just keep that in mind. It has to be 1 and 2 if it's taken separately. So 7 years. Anatomy alone is 10 years. In general, the anatomy of a human doesn't change that much. It's the physiology that limits the A and P together to 7 years because things are changing all the time. So you have 7 years for the physiology. With that said, I don't remember what I was going to say. So I'm going to let Heather continue.
It'll come to her at some point, right?
Sure it will. Yeah.
That's what happens when we do these live. You're going to have something that we're going to have to pick up again. So we do offer it, as we mentioned, AMP here at HOC. And so we do have, it's a vocational nursing anatomy and physiology course. It only is for our requirement and it fulfills that anatomy physiology requirement. This is not going to be a course for credit that you're going to be able to take for a registered nursing program or transfer over to a college. So it's really just approved with the BVMPT to fulfill that need, that requirement for our LVM program. Okay, so very important to know that. It is scheduled for January 25th to March 29th, 7:30 to 12, and it's a Tuesday, Friday class. We know the schedule's a little, but it's our vocational nursing instructors that teach it, and so we kind of have to work around their schedule with the current vocational nursing class. We will be offering it twice a year, so it'll also be offered in August, September. We will be posting the dates on the website. So if you're a class 71, possibly looking at taking it then, those will be on the website when you are going to look at your VN application process that I'm going to show you next. So you can
remember what I was going to say.
Perfect.
For the RN programs, when you go on from LVN to RN, you still need your anatomy and physiology. So if you could take it out of college, please do so. That will be transferable into your RN program.
Yeah.
With that said, if you come to our program, you've already had your anatomy and physiology, and you don't get to apply for an RN to LVN to RN program at 8 years. Some of the colleges say you only need to take one of the sciences over again to renew all of them. So look into that as well. That's what I wanted to say.
Perfect. Okay, so I figured the best way to show you this process is to give you the view that you will find, which is going to be on our website. So hoc.guhsd.net. And so lots of information here about it. If you go to the HOC courses page here, and you see all of the courses we offer, and it's alphabetical. It's the only reason it's at the bottom here. Our vocational nursing,
That's okay.
Yep, if I click over show you too, that you will find information on the anatomy and physiology for VN. So there's a lot of information on this page, the link to register when it opens, which will be after the Q&A session. And then you also will find here TEAS review. So these are the links where you can get those handouts with the dates, the costs, all the details for those courses. So you're going to want to go to vocational nursing here, though. Lots of information on this page. So we are currently wrapping up our class 69 application process and processing applications now. And you still will see that whole process here that's available for students, but we've already updated class 70. So class 71 application process in April or May, that button will go up and the dates and the details for that next class will be available for you. So lots of information here. This is definitely where you're going to want to refer back to. It has your documentation email to send to. It's got a great overview of the program down here. So lots of good info. Specific to the application process, though, you're going to want to click on the application for whatever class you're looking to apply for. And this is going to have very specific dates and steps for you. So the first thing you're doing is you are here. You are taking step one. You're watching about vocational nursing orientation video. So you've already made it that far. Your next step, we've been talking about the prerequisites, is to make sure that you have your prerequisites completed. So you may need to be taking a CNA or take your TEAS or take anatomy and physiology. So you do have that link to the course here. And some of these dates you will see will be updated, but for TEAS review and for the VN AMP course, we are only offering one next semester because that's what we have capacity to do. Unfortunately, we would love to offer more. But that's what we can do. Those are going to open on the morning. So after our Q&A, which is December 7th, you see 9 a.m. So December 8th at 9 a.m. is when those courses will open for registration online, or you can come here in person to register. So you have those options. So this is optional. We know that as we're talking through a lot of this, you may still have more questions you would like to ask in person. So we're still not doing that Q&A in person. We're going to do it in Zoom. So it's convenient and you can jump in and out. So 9 to 10, we will be open here. It'll be myself and Mrs. Brock and possibly Alex, but for sure, the two of us will be participating in this and just available to answer questions as they come in. So great way to do that here. And the link is already updated for you. So we're ready to do that. And then from there, it's going to be complete the vocational nursing application. So you'll be completing it. I'm going to show you where you can do that online. And then you're going to follow up with submitting your prerequisites to us here in the office. The application for class 70 is going to be open starting on March 1st through April 1st. So it's a month where the application is open for students to submit. And from there, we work very quickly to process those applications, and we do a point system. So I will show you kind of that point system here. And we are hoping to get all of our applicants get a status email by April 25th. So you know whether you got in, you know whether you're going to be on standby or whether you may want to be looking at applying again into the future. I do want to say, if you do get that email here, that we are always open to, if you want to call and ask kind of where you lost points, we can give you recommendations for future applications. We're happy to review it with you and do that. From here, there are some additional steps. So there is an acceptance completion process. So some additional documents that will have to be submitted before you started, including your driver's license. You will then have to submit that CNA license. You will need a social security card, and then you also will need a basic life support class, which we offer here if you do need that. You can take them anywhere though. So you see, like, you'll have more details when we send the status emails to you, but we do want you just to be prepared. There is then a mandatory welcome meeting. And so it is 3 days. We're spreading it out. So we used to do 8-hour days. We're gonna make them a little shorter for you. So it's not so much information, but you do have to attend this. You get attendance for this class, so you need to be there. And there are no exceptions. So again, dates and times will be included in the email. And then there's, of course, the health requirements, the immunization, background check, drug screen requirements. I will bring it up now because I know the questions will come in. COVID vaccinations. So we as a school do not require our students to be vaccinated. So we don't collect that information. We aren't going to bar students from participating in classes based on vaccination status for COVID-19. But that big but word, our healthcare partners do have that requirement. And so the clinical sites will require you to have that COVID vaccination and submit it in these health requirements in order to come to their facility. So it is going to be almost impossible for us to get you through the program without being vaccinated for COVID-19. So please be aware of that, and really vaccinated for all of the common ones, your Tdap, your MMR, the flu vaccine is required. So just please be aware of that, because I know that's been a big question that's been asked for a variety of our programs. Anything to add to that, Barbara?
Yeah, just you will not be able to get through the program without the COVID-19 vaccination because of the requirements of the facilities we use.
Right.
Mandated. So you wouldn't even be able to get out of first semester. So.
Okay. And then the last thing is, as you saw there, that completion, you'll attend the welcome meeting and complete your registration. And so, so that is the steps for class 70. For those of you here for class 71, you will see that button that is talking about class 71, again, probably towards the end of April, May for the next process. And it will have all similar buttons. It's just going to have different dates for you. So please make sure you look at those dates closely. All right, so that is the application process. Oh, sorry, I'm going to go backwards one more time here. I also wanted to show you really quickly the application summary. So we're not going to be, because the application's online, we can't show it to you, because once we open it, people can actually go in and register. But this document, if you're wanting to know how to be prepared when you go to fill out the application, because you do have to fill it out in one sitting, this is the class 69 application requirements. I do not expect it to change a lot. Very soon we'll update it with your class 70 application requirements. And this is just a really short summary of the sections that you'll be filling out in the application. So what you'll need throughout that process. So there may be some changes again to class 70, but you do have an essay. It gives you the character limits. It's basically, again, a little summary of what you will see when you open up that application. So you can be prepared when you go to fill it out and you don't get halfway through and then have to restart it because you didn't have materials available. So that is an important resource here. Again, it's vocational nursing page. It's the application summary. We're going to review the rubric, so how we choose students to get into the program. And then this is just a guide overall for what the program has in it. Okay, so here, as well as we're going through this, how do you get the VN application? So you don't see a link for the VN application because it's online here. We are required to have the mandatory orientation. So yes, sorry, you have to watch this video. If you haven't figured out, sometimes you can do it and fast forward if you can listen closely, but you do have to watch this video. So in order for us to verify that you've watched this video, we do have a process for you to actually go in and apply for the VN application and to get the resource. So right now, super important time, focus, because I'm going to show you where you can access the VN application and how to get it so you can actually register for our program. So again, you're seeing our homepage here, hoc.tuhsd.net. Up at the top blue bar, you see this button that says register online. You're going to click on that register online. It is going to take you to our registration system, which is called ASAP. So you will be here. You will have to have an account. So it's a really basic free account that you can fill in if you've never used our system before. If you've been with us, please just use your username and your password. When you're here, you're going to click in the classes list here on medical orientation. So in medical orientation, it's kind of embedded in that system. You have something called VN application. You are going to want to register for that. So the nice orange register now button. And so when you register now for that, it is free. It's simply putting you into our system to access the VN application is what it's going to do for us. If you ever get lost in any of this, the home button will bring up this class list. And again, just going to that medical orientation. If you're on a mobile device, we know probably half of you are maybe watching this on your phone or your tablet. Mobile menu looks a little different. So you're going to clip up the top at the mobile menu from hoc.ghsd.net, get a little menu bar, and you're going to click register online. And again, here's what it'll look like, medical orientations, and you'll get a page like this. So right now it says read only when it's active and you can actually register for it. It'll say register now, same process that you then go through. Once you're finished, so please make sure we've had students put things in their cart and not complete the registration. So please make sure you complete the registration. Again, it's 0. So you see a lot of zeros here just to show you that you're not going to have to pay for this application at all. It just lets us know and it has you in the system. So we're aware that you're accessing that application. And so you will get this right after you complete. So make sure you see this page. This is not the most important page. The most important page is actually going to be your receipt that you're going to get by email. It is going to come from Grossmont Adult School. So the email will actually be from adultschool@ghsd.net. This document that you get is going to have the link right down at the bottom here. And it's going to have the direct link. You will click on it and it'll take you to the VN application. And so there you'll get to fill it out. And once you have that link, you have access to the application to complete it. If you don't get an email, you should get it pretty quickly after you've registered. First, check your spam. It is coming from an adult school website. So some spam blockers don't like that word. So just be aware of that. If you don't see it in your spam, call or email the office here to verify your email that you entered in your registration is correct. We can also just resend that out to you really quick. And so we'll make sure that you have access to that application once we see you in there. Until March 1st, this is what this application is going to look like. You're not going to be able to access it. It's going to tell you it is closed right now. This is for our Class 69 application. And so it's closed. It's going to tell you you're going to have to wait till March 1st to that April 1st to be able to fill it out. So that is the correct screen. You have the correct link if that is the page that you see. And then just go back to it March 1st to April 1st, and you'll have the live application to fill out. All right, I'm going to pass it back over. I've talked plenty now. Pass the back over so they can review the application a little bit more in detail.
Like Heather had said, the application for Class 70 will be open March 1st and close April 1st at noon. The application is an online application, so it's not a paper application that's going to be available for you to print. That's why we have the summary available on our website so that you can work on that, make your notes. And then in one sitting, you will be opening, it's a Google form. You will be completing that and submitting it. You actually type your essay into the character box. And nothing is attached or uploaded with that application. Again, everything officially, the transcripts will be either emailed or dropped off at our office. And with that said, please give yourself plenty of time to get your transcripts. We know there's been delays with high school districts, even with the foreign transcripts. So just giving yourself enough time to make sure you get those official transcripts in process so that we have them by close of the application April 1st. Class 71 application will be open in September through October, and those exact dates will be determined. Check the website there under the vocational nursing where Heather was showing you so that you know the dates for the exact dates for the window. And then I'm just going to plug right here that if you're a returning applicant, welcome back. If you applied for Class 69 and have turned in official transcripts, we have record of them and we will keep them on file for one class application period. So if you turn them in for Class 69, I do have them, we do have them on record, and we will hold them for you and use those if you're reapplying for Class 70. And that will go into effect for the next application period as well. So if you apply to Class 70 and have submitted your transcript and it wasn't the right time for you, or you weren't able to get in and you reapply for 71, we will have record of that. We hold them for one class application period. So please note that we wouldn't have you turn around and request transcripts right away, but we can really only hold them for one more class period. Application and all prerequisites must be submitted again to the HOC office in person, officially sealed, official stamps, not opened, or official to the email address, which is on the vocational nursing page. And again, those are requested directly from the school and sent to us officially. So in no case would it be the student just emailing me the transcript as a PDF or an uploaded copy. It actually comes from a registrar or an official transcript site. And then what is this application all about? How do we determine who's getting in and the points? I'm going to let Barbara go through the rubric with you guys. This is the tool utilized by the committee to evaluate transcripts and grant points.
Thank you, Alex. So on here, as you can see, the T scores are like a lot of points. So the better you do on the T's, the better the chance of getting into the program. We do that because it's a rigorous program and we want to make sure you're ready to go through this 18-month program that can be difficult at times. We don't want you to start and not be able to continue because it's too much for you. So the different areas, you get a score for overall scores, and you can see that there. And this is on the website, so you have this available to you. There's reading, math, science, and English. So you get additional points for the different categories. And then if you have your CNA, well, you have to have your CNA to get into the program, but we want to know if you've been working as a CNA or any other kind of medical area, like you still get points for being an MA, but you still have to have your CNA to be in the program. But you're out there, you're using the lingo, you're working with patients, so we give you points for that. And then there's military medical as well. With the military medical, further down the road, you may need to provide some information for that. So just so you know. But we don't want to leave out people that have been working 10, 15 years in the same area. We want to be able to give you points because it shows dedication to something long-term. So we give you a point for up to 3 years, and 3 years plus, you get 2 points. In some of you might be thinking, well, I've had my CNA for 2 years and I worked at Bonds for 5 years. Yes, you get points for both. You have to make sure you put it in the application though. So it needs to be in there. We also value community service in our community. So volunteer work in our community, and you get points for that. The more you do, up to 40 hours plus, the more points you get. So keep that in mind. It could be the difference between getting in and not getting in. So start working on it now. Get out there. There's lots of community service opportunities. It can be anywhere, healthcare related or non-healthcare related, except for your own child's school. So just keep that in mind. It can be your next door neighbor's child's school, just not yours. So we also give you points for college degree, and it's per college degree. So if you have 2 associate's degrees, you'd have 2 points. Bachelor's degree, 2 points for 1, graduate for 3. So with that said, it has to be the official transcript that Alex already talked about. It has to be submitted to the email address or brought in person. I do want to put one plug in there. If you do get yours as a hard copy, order a few of them, because you want to open it sometimes, look at it, or someone might need it down the road. If you go on for your RN program, you're going to need one. So you might as well just get it, save it somewhere, safety deposit box or something like that, and have it on hand. We also give you points for medical certification. It could be EMT, MA, phlebotomy, pharm tech, vet tech, any of those certifications you get points for. Biggest one I like to see is home health aid. And you can take it here on campus. After you have your CNA, we have the home health aid class. And it opens more doors for you, not only as a CNA, but when you go on, you get your LVN and then possibly your RN, having that home health aid as a CNA and working in home health opens up other doors for you as an RN as well. So I'm plugging our class for that. Definitely need it. And then as Heather said, earlier, there's an essay and there's a committee that reads the essays. I read it and I look at it as from the medical standpoint, is it going to be a good fit? We have another person who reads it just for the grammar and the content as far as the English writing goes. And then we have various other people that just, maybe they're medical, not medical, and they look at it from a different area as well. So we're looking at it in different ways. So we add up all these points. Not knowing your name pretty much when we're doing it, we're just putting the numbers in, and whoever gets the top points, they're the ones that are offered the position. So if you want to increase your score, here's your rubric. That's how you do it. And Alex did mention about the ATI with the 6 months apart, and we will take your highest score. So if you study and get a lower one the second time, we will take the higher one the first time. But you can go back and take it in 6 months again. So get the book, read it, work on it every day. So the application process to review everything we just talked about, you got to watch the video from the website. You complete your prerequisites, you complete the application, which again, the list, the summary of it's on the application page. So look at that before you even start the application. You then get the notification email to submit your additional documents. And then you get an email within that that says, yay, you're in the program, and we'll give you the dates for the welcome meeting. That wraps it up.
That is a hit. So just quick summary. We know we've reviewed a lot of information, so hopefully this has been useful for you. We know that there may still be some questions. So we do have that Q&A coming up Thursday, December 7th from 9 to 10 a.m. So the link is on the website. Again, class 71, if you're here, same thing, just look at that VN application page for class 71 and you'll see the link and the dates for your Zoom Q&A session. And so some of the details there. More information on our website. Please make sure you review it all. If you still have questions after that Q&A, please just give us a call here at the office and we'll try to do what we can to answer them. We know some people have very specific questions. So we basically have reviewed all of the information that we can to share for you to help you prepare as you're looking to apply to this program. We hopefully look forward to seeing you in the future and help you to meet your goals. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Take care.